I've managed to cobble together two sets of DTI testing equipment by putting this extension rod in here, and it doesn't quite fit the same thread, it's a little bit different, but it'll give us the same result. So I'm going to check each cam lobe individually on this motor. So I've set this to 0, and it's quite easy to turn. Wait a minute, wait for it, there she goes. 1, 2, yeah, that is 275. 275, okay? Now you saw that. I'm going to check each and every one exactly the same. Now the actual spring in here will push down the lifter. As you can see, it's returning to 0 again. $275. If I keep going on, it'll go back. And that's the back side of the cam look. There you go. So I'm going to check each and every one individually. I'm going to get to the bottom of this because I don't really want to take the cam out of this thing if I can help it. And the reason is, I'll tell you the reason why. I realise that these have got a paper gasket and I haven't got a bloody gasket, I haven't got a sump gasket. Let's get on with it. We have the results. Interesting. I'm going to start from the front to the back, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 1, the exhaust was 275. The inlet, number 2, was 264. The inlet number 3 is 266. The exhaust number 4 was 275. The exhaust number 5 was 274. The inlet number 6 was 264. The inlet number 7 was 265. And the exhaust number 8 was 275. Right, hope you can sort of read that. Now, allowing for a little bit of a margin of error of my setup, because it is kind of tricky to test and my DTI isn't, the extension isn't the right thread. We can see that the intakes, the exhaust, 275, 275, 275, 274, 1/1000th of an inch. Well, that's not going to cause a misfire. Not as severe as we thought. The intakes must be 10 thou shorter, or I think it's 10 thou anyway. 265, 264, 266, 264. Averaging out perhaps 265. So, I don't think I need to take this cam out. I don't think so. It's so marginal. I mean, if we were getting something on number 3, see, before in a previous video, I put the DTI in to see if the cam was a nice profile, but I didn't actually check the heights. This is the first time I've checked the heights. So what it's saying is, what these figures are saying to me is that the cam's pretty much even Stevens, it's all the way through. If we had a lobe that was reading sort of 0, well then we'd have a problem. Or if the gauge was bouncing up and down, we'd know that the cam follower or the camshaft itself was damaged in some way, but it's been smooth as silk all the way. So that isn't indicating to me that there's a problem with a lumpy lifter. And looking at this engine, I don't think it's done that many miles. I keep bleating about this, but there's something wrong. There's something wrong somewhere. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to finish off building that head up because I've got an idea how we can fix those those hot plugs, and we're going to build it back up. We can't do anything else but to build it back up again. There's just nothing in this engine that makes any sense. But at least we've got injectors now. Maybe that was its problem all along, and it's thrown us into such a position that we just don't know where we are. Maybe when they've checked the injectors, when it's on the car, it's a different tale altogether. could be. But we've checked the head, we've replaced the hot plugs, we know the glow plugs are right. I've just checked also the height of the pistons, they're perfect. Oh, there goes my notes. So it can't be that. Let's finish this head.